Hello YouTube, long time no see. Now today I want to talk on a very serious topic which is called depersonalization / derealization, which can occur in many forms of mental illness. Mental health conditions. Involving including bipolar, schizophrenia, which I want to state right now, it is not schizophrenia straight out. You're not psychotic. This derealization can make you feel like you're isolated behind a mirror, alienated where you don't know or you're unfamiliar with your surroundings, even if you've been through that area hundreds of times. Your body doesn't feel like it's under your control. It feels more like you're a puppet, which can be very, very fucking bad. And there are ways to manage it, but sometimes people need to be hospitalized or institutionalized to actually get that help. If somebody's having thoughts of somebody watching them, feeling like a puppet, feeling like there's little voices inside your head, yes, that can happen with depersonalization. Even when you feel like you're living in a dream, pretty much, or a movie. Even when you go to sleep, you still feel exactly the same as you do when you're awake. Derealization can be very bad. It can leave people very disorientated, upset, confused, feeling like they don't know what to do. As I said, it's in bipolar and other mental disorders like dissociative identity disorder, or DID, which Herschel Walker, one of George's best fucking players back a while back, actually has DID as well. But off the topic of DID, this is on derealization and depersonalization. Right, so as I stated, you feel like you live in a dream. Some things that can make you they can make derealization and depersonalization happen can be different drugs, antidepressant, some certain antidepressants, anxiety, panic attacks. Stress can be a really big factor in causing it. Trauma from severe abuse, or even just trauma from, I don't know, falling out of a tree can help make things worse for derealization. Now, it affects millions of people around the world. Don't be ashamed to talk to people about it and find ways to manage it. It can be hard, especially when you have psychotic symptoms as well, like hallucinations and delusions. That can be very, very tricky to handle. Not long ago, shit, today I had a bit of a part of depersonalization where I felt like I was literally floating, and when I went outside, I literally felt like the ground was falling right underneath my feet. I do want to state that I do thankfully have ways of managing it, but really it's good to have good support and people who will actually listen and not judge. That's why I like to thank your friend if they're watching. Uh, so I'd like to thank a friend called Anne, which I could be speaking about anybody, but you know who they are. Yeah, basically, when you have both derealization and depersonalization, same thing really, and psychotic symptoms, you can really feel like absolute fucking shit and you're just constantly living in a fucking nightmare. Derealization can last for weeks, months, days, years. Some people can have it for nearly up to 14 years living like they're in a dream if they don't manage it properly, which can be really bad for both the person's mental health and physical health. Yeah. Also, to the dumb Queenslander who said I don't know anything about depression, yes, I am well aware depression is a chemical imbalance in the brain. But what causes the serotonin to stop flowing to your receivers in your brain? Lack of serotonin to the brain can cause severe depression, even suicidal depression, and major depressive disorder, psychotic depression. So, to anybody who thinks they know what the fuck is going on, you do not. You are not a fucking professional. Even DID, because it's a depersonalization is a symptom in DID. The doctor, the psychiatrists, psychologist, whoever the fuck you are, don't actually get it unless you have knowledge on the disorder and you're actually willing to learn and listen and try to understand without fucking judging. Which I know I'm swearing a lot right now, but it's been a fairly fucking shit day. I probably look like shit right now. But yeah, you don't know what it's like to live with derealisation and depersonalization. It is very, very difficult. Right? Like, even right now, even in my own fucking room, I still feel like somebody is watching me through that window where you can see the sun coming in. Some days I feel like my neck is not attached to my head, and I don't know where the fuck I am. I feel like a zombie. Sometimes I can't even feel my feet or legs, to the point where if I go to walk, I will trip over, and that can be very bad. That can really be dangerous. So if you feel worried that you have depersonalization or are experiencing depersonalization, please talk to somebody. Don't just ignore it, because it'll just get worse and worse and worse. And I know one of my favourite YouTubers who I watch. I'm not gonna say his name because a lot of you fucking asshole trolls out there will go to his channel and abuse the shit out of him because you're fucking dicks like that. Yeah, basically, because of derealisation and depersonalisation, he has been hospitalised for he has been institutionalised for the most part of nearly 4 or 5 years. And is usually only out for a few months, then he gets put back in for fear of what's going to happen. So I urge people to actually take mental health more seriously, do research on the symptoms, and really, really try to understand what people are going through, but know that you will never completely understand until you have experienced that form of mental health, because it can be very, very, very hard to live with. Right now, the friend that I thanked at the start, Anna, has recently been helping me out with, or has been trying to understand what I'm going through right now. And it makes me feel so fucking good to know that at least one person is actually interested in learning about mental health conditions. And see that now I'm seeing shit. Yeah, great. It makes it real good to know that somebody out there actually cares and wants to help people. And I always try to be there for other people as well, because right now, the way things are, sorry for that. There we go, that's better. I think people need to start taking mental health more seriously. And also right now I'm listening to a song by a Perfect Circle called Disillusioned, which is a fucking good song. And I'm gonna try to turn it up just a little bit so people can hear it. They actually know quite a bit about what derealization and depersonalization can be like, because the lead singer, who is also in the band Tool, worked in a morgue, and while he was there, he started to feel he started to feel like he was in an illusion, and he didn't know who he was, really know who he was at that time when he was younger. And yeah, alright, fine, yes. Oh god, hang on. And when he started making music, it sort of helped him to snap out of that derealization and depersonalization. And I think that's a good thing, but he still remembers that it can come back at any time. Anything can trigger it, and that's what I think people need to get in their heads, is when people are experiencing depersonalization, they feel like they're the same, they're not themselves, they feel like their body is not in their control. And I just absolutely hate how many people call them mentally retarded and psychotic and shit like that. Because those of us who suffer from it, there's a reason we're so fucking kind. Because every day is a pure fucking hell and a living nightmare that you can't escape. That's why I'm always there for others, even my own subscribers, especially my own subscribers. And if I ever get a chance to meet any of my subscribers right now that actually do care about mental health, I will knock on their doors and just give them a big thank you for their support. And I'm always here if anybody needs to talk. I will put my Twitter in the description. No merch link in bio. I'm not Logan Paul. Yeah, and I'll put my Instagram in the description as well. I want everybody who is listening right now to actually look up some of the... Look up if you feel like your body is being controlled by somebody else. But do not freak out if you do feel this way. Yes, it can be scary, but it does not mean it is schizophrenia or psychosis or a disorder like bipolar. Well, it's a dissociative disorder that can be linked to other disorders such as bipolar and schizophrenia, but that does not mean that it is schizophrenia or bipolar or that you are psychotic. It might mean you need to talk to someone to better feel more like yourself. You might need prescriptions, but certain drugs can prescription drugs can make it worse. So you really got to, if you feel like this, speak to a psychiatrist, a psychologist. Speak to me. I'm always here to help. And just, if you need to as a last resort, please, even though you get treated like a fucking child by some, get yourself admitted to a psychiatric hospital if you need to be institutionalized for a while or you're undergoing treatment. Yeah, so I'll leave the link in the bio. No merch link in bio though. Only my Twitter and my Instagram. So I'm sorry if I haven't really been focused right now. Right now I'm starting to see a few things out the corner of my eye, so I better drink some of this